Stole Shop's Balanced Lifestyle channel. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm Vaughn. Today, guys, we are just going to be chatting about some stuff. It's been a minute since I've done a chat here. We're gonna do a little chat on mental health, some TV and film shows, because I'm a writer, guys. Some stuff that I'm watching and I find very interesting. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, and also some things that are going on between the ladies and the men. We'll talk about it. But before we get started, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that YouTube can let you know every time I post a new video, and give me a thumbs up. Let's chat. All right, guys. So, as I like to do, this is the LDS Balanced Lifestyle channel. I like to sometimes just have little conversations about stuff that people might not want to talk about, and things that need to be talked about, because we don't want to act like things aren't happening out there in the world, and they actually are. And some of those things affect me and affect you. So I wanted to do, because I've done this before on this channel, and I'm going to try to keep this up at least once a month, what my body lets me do with this whole lupus thing. Y'all know how that works. A little mental health stuff. You guys, if you've been watching my channel, if you're new here, know that I had been through a traumatic event, having lost my ex-fiance almost 2 years ago. This coming June will be 2 years. And I was dealing with some grief, and I can't say was, because every once in a while, you don't just cut stuff off. Things stay. Just because a person passes away doesn't mean that love, just goes away. It doesn't work like that. You got to kind of repair yourself and heal yourself. And I've been doing pretty well with that. I talked to you guys. I got a therapist because I knew I couldn't handle it by myself. And that's how you know you're strong. Vulnerability. You got to just tell it like it is. So I got myself a therapist, got into my yoga hard, got into my meditation hard, got into my manifestation hard, got into working harder on my content creation, my affiliate marketing, all those kinds of things to kind of just channel my energies in another direction. And I'm glad that I did do that. And according to my therapist, that's the smart thing to do. Put your energies into something else, and don't just sit there. And of course, right after he passed, I had to sit with my emotions for quite some time. And it was not easy. It was not easy. So upon going into therapy, I'm finding that, first of all, my therapy started about one thing, about processing my ex's passing away. And then it curved and it turned to something entirely different. Apparently I had been dealing with some stuff, and I'm still trying to understand where it all comes from. And I wrote my little notes down here. Still trying to understand where it comes from. Talked to my therapist, and we were talking about the fact that she sees this perfectionist thing in me. And she made it a point to tell me that because I'm a creative person, and creative people often have trouble with being too perfect. So as a I guess reflection of trying to be perfect, we sometimes second guess ourselves and doubt ourselves about things because we're too concerned about being perfect. So I get to asking her, okay, where does that come from? Why do I have that? So she gets asking me about my childhood and different events that may have happened to me when I was younger. And I think, we're getting a little breakthrough. So what I'm getting to is that it came down to me wanting to control everything. And some people have this problem a little bit worse than I do. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it because hey, this is balanced lifestyle, and everything in life is not going to be perfect, and we got to acknowledge that, you know. So she says, you know, I always had this issue with trying to be so many steps ahead of something as a just in case. So if you're doing stuff to try to prevent XYZ from happening, you're thinking too far ahead, and then you're not being where you are, so you miss something that you're supposed to catch on to because you're so far in the future, you're not being where you are. This control comes from fear that things won't work out the way you want them to. And, you know, we had to talk about it, you know, in depth. As far as life, things do not. You can't control anything really but yourself. And there are some times when you can't even do that because you think you're going the right way, but because of maybe your experiences or, well, yeah, your experiences, you think that you're doing something the right way because with the knowledge that you have at the time, you think that's the right decision, and that is not always the way it goes. So, you know, to be totally transparent, in terms of control and fear, we had talked about what happened with my fiance's passing, and, you know, I was feeling at the time that, oh, things were going so good. Something's gonna go wrong. Something's gonna go wrong. And lo and behold, it did. He passed away. And I was like, okay, what did I do, or what could I have done to prevent this? So I still have those thoughts in my head. And when it comes to, you know, someone else's mortality, you have absolutely nothing to do with that. So just, she put me on to Brene Brown, guys. Go listen to Brene Brown. Brene Brown, things about quotes from Maya Angelou, just quotes from just different people that I'm listening to. It's just gearing me into a better way of thinking, a sort of how to be here right now, and not be so concerned about the future. That when I have a thought about something that I'm creating, when I have a thought about what I'm gonna do with the Lotus Doll Shop boutique, all of those different things, it's trying to think too far in the future instead of just going with the flow of whatever the quote unquote universe put in my head to do. Don't think about what's gonna happen once you do it, just do it. As a matter of fact, I just finished posting on Instagram, y'all. And you guys know, at L.A.L Loving Life on Instagram, y'all know that I'm always posting for my affiliates, and sometimes I even second guess that. And I've been doing this for months, and it's like, okay, at this point, either people are going to shop with your affiliate or they're not going to shop with your affiliate. Either people gonna realize, hey, I need this, or I don't need this, or people are gonna say, oh yeah, I do like that, I want that, let's do it. So it's really about not trying to control, releasing fear. Fear is always going to be there, but you got to work past it. You got to move past it. Yeah, you got to move past it. So that is one of the things that I am dealing with. And someone out there, guys, leave a comment, let me know what y'all thinking. You may be dealing with some control issues too, some fear issues too. If, you know, if I do this like XYZ, this person is going to, if I do this, this person's going to do that. And how am I going to feel if once I do this, if that person doesn't do that? It's all of those things that we humans do all the time, but you just got to put it out there because you just don't know the outcome of whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's what I'm dealing with, y'all. Anxiety, control. So the anxiety comes from the fear, and the control comes from the fear. So, you know, I sit, I meditate, and I am working hard on that, y'all. So, yeah, so like mentally, that's one of the issues that I'm dealing with, and I am not trying to control it. I'm just doing what I do as it goes. All right, guys. So, as an offshoot of the whole control thing, there are a couple of like TV shows and movies that one I was already into, and they just got a new season, and a couple of other ones that I have been turned on to. Okay, so let's talk about the TV show You. You guys don't watch it? It's on Netflix. It's absolutely wonderful. Stars Penn Badgley, and Dan Humphrey from Gossip Girl. I know y'all know who that is. If you watch Gossip Girl, I know you guys know. But it is, you know, as a person who writes TV and film, I'm budding, guys. That's another thing. I put myself out there, so I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to jinx it. But I put myself out there to show some people what I do, and we'll see what happens from there. That's all I can do. But in this show, and I'm trying not to give everything away, but it goes to show you how control can cause you to lose the very thing that you're trying to hold on to. In the show, as a kid, he's abandoned by his mom, and as he goes throughout life, this last season was just a little bit weird for me. He still has some of the things that he was doing, but the first couple seasons really showed that he had a control problem. So what he does is, in order to put himself in primarily the women's lives, he would study them, and he would do things to make sure he was in the right place at the right time. He would try to, he would find his way into their life and grab a piece of their underwear or something like that. Take that and put it somewhere to keep it close to him. He would do things in these people's lives in terms of the women that he was attracted to try to, I guess, steer them, I guess, into choosing him, if that makes any sense. Putting himself at the right place at the right time. You know, and I don't think it's necessarily a problem if you want to study someone because you're interested in them, you're attracted to them, but it becomes creepy when it becomes stalkerish when you just happen to show up where they were because you hacked their email or you hacked their text messages. That's weird. That's control. That's not normal. So I think because of what happened to him with his mother abandoning him, he tries to control the situation so he can keep people in place to do what he wants them to do. I love the show. It is absolutely awesome. You feel sorry for him because he has to keep changing his life because there are some subsequent things that happen, unfortunately, with the people that he was trying to keep, that he keeps having to end up doing because he's going about trying to develop these relationships in the wrong way because he has a problem with control, getting things to work exactly like he wants them to work. Now, the new season, honestly, guys, I'm not feeling it so much. So, I figured out who the culprit was. Let's just put it like that. But again, I look at stuff from a TV and film perspective, and I try not to be so critiquey when I'm watching things. But it's hard because as a writer, it's almost like you're analyzing, like, how's, now why would this person do this? Now why would this person need to hang with that? It's like you're almost like a detective when I'm watching some of these shows. So I really, really enjoy the show You, but just bringing it back to mental health and how people try to control situations. You try to control something too much, you end up with nothing. That's usually how that works. So moral story right there. This other show, and last night I sat and watched the Murders, A Southern Scandal. I was checking out your girl Yvette Carnell, ADOS movement, guys. I'm black over here, so it's all about blackness. It is what it is. So I'm watching her, and she talked about the murder, and then I'm seeing it on the internet and social media about them talking about it. And I said, you know what? Let me watch this. So another show about how it's not a show because it's real life. South Carolina, the family patriarch, because it just looked like because he did not have accountability and came from a very, prestigious, wealthy family in this area, the idea of control, here we go again, mental control of the children, control of the wife, control of the family business, when you lack accountability and you think you can keep getting away with stuff, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. One kid found killed. They thought the family had to do with that. The housekeeper killed. They thought the family had to do with that. The mother and the son gets into something that calls attention to this family in the first place, but he got off easy in my personal opinion. I'm trying not to tell you guys the whole thing, but basically a number of these family members, they were so used to controlling the situation till finally when it came down, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So go watch that documentary. Oh my God. I was floored by the lack of accountability on these people, but these people were the powers that be in America. So y'all know what I'm saying? So that is probably the reason they were allowed to keep getting away with what they were getting away with, aside from just having money and power. Bam. That's the other. I was on TikTok and I was watching, and when you scroll my feed, and this lady, she looked to be like an Indian lady, East Indian, and she said, if you have not seen this show, also on Netflix, I believe that's where I watched it. It might have been Amazon, y'all, I can't remember. But go anyway. The name of the movie is called Soft and Quiet. It is about women, a couple of powers that be in America women. I'm just gonna put it that way. These women, y'all, that's my heater coming on if y'all hear it. These women have a meeting. The meeting is about really just griping about how other people from other communities have advantages and they don't. It was so well written, and it was about women. Hello, Women's Day was the other day. And okay, so it was so well written. From what I understand, the lady that wrote it was a teacher. So one of the ladies in the group is I think she's a second grade teacher. The other lady was a mother of multiple kids. The other lady was a business owner. Another one was a wannabe bad girl, had been to jail. And the other one is, she seems like she was artsy, but she's this provocative dresser. kind of woman, and another woman was a Christian woman. Now, as the story goes, where they had the meeting, and I'm trying to tell you without telling you, it was so well written in that each of these ladies, if you look at the personality of the ladies, it just made sense what their gripes were about when they were sitting at the meeting. All except for the little provocative girl. She seemed like she was there, but she was a little bit out of place because I think she didn't really think like the other ladies would. This movie will shock you, I'm telling you. It will shock you, but it makes sense. Follow me. Okay. So in the movie, you know, and we're still talking about mental health here, guys. Go with me. In the movie, these ladies of another community come into the store of one of those ladies after these ladies have this meeting. They were kicked out of where they were having the meeting. The gall of them to think they could do what they did, but in terms of Christianity, you know, a lot of those people from that community are quote unquote Christian, and you know, they don't really practice what they preach. So let's just put it like that. So they were kicked out of where they were having the meeting. So they decide to go to one of the ladies' house. So they stop at the store that the other lady owned to grab some libations or whatever. So the girls from another community come in. The girl said, "Hey, I just had a bad day." So first of all, they tell her the store is actually closed, and they were the only ones allowed to shop. They were all friends. They were coming in there, and so the girls come in. They left the door open. The girls come in thinking they can purchase what they want to purchase, and they're like, "No, you can't come in here." Da 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 da. The girls come in, and the lady that owns the store, she's behind the bar, and the girls were like, you know. The lady said, "You know, I just had a bad day, and I really just, do you mind if I just go ahead and grab the bottle? I'll get the most expensive one that you have." First of all, if you're from one community, the people from that community, don't beg them to spend your money with them. So, y'all know what I mean right there. So the girls, one of the girls of the other community, she said, "You know what, let's just leave. We don't want any trouble, whatever." And she said, well, look, I had a bad day and I just really want to get a bottle of wine. It doesn't matter. So the personalities of these women, it just didn't even make sense, the hate that was coming from them. But it all boiled down to each of them had something inside of them that they were struggling with personally, and they used their racism to, I guess, distract from whatever it is they were struggling with. So what ended up happening was a fight ensued. I can't tell you guys the whole story because I don't want to give it away, but go watch it, Soft and Quiet. A fight ensued, a gun was pulled, and the ladies from the other community left out, and one of those ladies, they were outside, and they said something smart to the ladies who were inside from the majority community. Y'all know where I'm going with that. So she then, they didn't make a plan to say, okay, they can't talk to us like that. They can't treat us like that. Guys, it turned into that night, all because of ego. Nobody hit anybody. Nobody did, only because words were spoken. That night turned into at least 4 different crimes that those women committed. Some of them didn't want to go as far as they did go, but what happens is if you put yourself in that situation, you have your ego problem, and you're looking at these women and you're feeling like they have it better than you, when no, they don't. Your ego is your problem, and you're dealing with something that has absolutely nothing to do with these women. Oh my God, go and watch that movie. There's a lot of mental stuff going on. The women start turning on each other. Oh, honey. And I think there's going to be a part 2. Go over and watch the movie. You won't be disappointed. I think it is Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, but it's called Soft and Quiet. You can always Google it. Just all of them were mental. And you got to channel your energies in the right place in order to really address what's going on. You can't put it outside on anybody else. You got to put it on yourself. And I think it's a problem with a lot of those people from that community, but I'm just going to put it like that. Go and watch. All right, guys. So, finally, I wanted to, I'm a little reluctant to talk about this topic, but it needs to be talked about, guys, because everybody is talking about it on the internet, on TikTok, on Instagram, and I'm calling this segment Sapphires and Bucks. Now, if you're not black and you're watching me, it can still apply to you, but mostly because of black people's history in this country, this is a way that we were looked at back when our ancestors were slaves. And I think this kind of behavior is coming back around for some reason, and I don't understand who's controlling what, but the conversation needs to be had. I'm gonna get started with the fellas, and then because it's a couple of days after Women's Day, then we're gonna talk about the ladies. The Bucks were the African men that they sent about the slave women to create kids with this one, that one, this one, and that one, and with no accountability, so they could grab them and sell them. That is how that works. The Sapphire was the loosey-goosey black woman from back then who, you know, would do whatever with whoever to get what she wants. She wants to be seen, just for various reasons. So we've got a problem. I'm watching TikTok and I'm watching Instagram and YouTube about, you know, this guy who's out loud and proud about having 7 kids by 7 different women. And there's also this particular celebrity who I had great respect for, who has multiple children out of wedlock. And I think on the seven kids with 7 women, that guy, he clearly doesn't have any money because, and this is all tying back to mental health. Okay, we're gonna tie this all together. So this guy, he obviously doesn't have any money, and if he did have money, he wouldn't think it a problem to support the children that he said he didn't want, but he still lied with these women and had them, knowing how his body works and knowing how the women's bodies work. And as far as this particular celebrity, okay, so I don't care how much money you have. What is the point of having all of these kids? I'm trying to understand it. People were trying to use all kind of excuses for this person's behavior, but never mind any of that. First of all, with the fellas, you have to discipline yourself out here. And with the ladies, you have to discipline yourself. But a lot of times what I find, being a female, one of the first things that we're taught, you know, even if we go to school, we can be as talented as whatever. One of the first things that we're taught is to become a wife and mother. It's almost like the ultimate job for a woman to have. And that may have been fine and good back in the day when women, well, black women always had to work. So, but at the same time, I guess it was like a protection thing, number one, and a covering thing, number two, to have a husband and a man who is a father to your children in the home with you, building a family, which to me, if you're going to have kids, I think it is important to have a covering, the man, the woman, an actual commitment. And as I was told, you know, people keep saying it's just a piece of paper. You'll find out that if it's a piece of paper or not, if that person passes away, you have bills, you have a house, you have kids. All of those things come into place when a person passes away. Trust me, I know. I sort of been there. So that's number one. But bottom line, as a female, and this is a female channel, a lady channel, I was always taught guys would do what you let them do, okay? And your body is special. It's important. You know, they used to always say, well, they used to say that having access to a woman's body wasn't easy, but these days, girls out there, if you allow access to your body so easily, you're not special anymore. you made yourself not special. If everybody knows what your body looks like, hello, OnlyFans, Instagram, quote unquote models. I'm trying to understand. And yes, guys, I do quote unquote modeling for my affiliate Parade, but I'm actually selling a bra and panties. I'm not, you know, there's not going to be any provocative photographs or anything like that. You're just going to see how the clothes look on me, how the bra and the panty looks on me, not from the back and all of that kind of stuff. We're not doing all that. You're going to get exactly what I want to give you, and that's it. Only so far, and that's it. But you know, I used to say that keep certain things need to still be taboo, and when they're not taboo anymore, they lose their appeal. And then where are we gonna be? You know, people used to go to the strip clubs because you couldn't get that kind of situation outside of the strip club. Now you go to a bar, a quote unquote lounge, because they got a lot of those in Atlanta. Y'all know how that works here. If you're here, you go to a lounge and these girls are quote unquote twerking on a table in barely their clothes, see-through clothes. It's like, I'm looking at the girls like, what are y'all doing? You don't make yourself special. You make yourself a throwaway, in my opinion. So I say that to say, you know, there's a lot of sapphire behavior, but the problem that I'm seeing, whether it's TV, film, music, we are allowing ourselves to be portrayed as that whole sapphire thing. If you think about it, you think about most TV shows, black TV shows or other, how the Black American girl, or even sometimes the African girl, is portrayed in those TV and film shows. We're allowing that, and then once we watch it, it's almost like well, if I take the route that she's taking, I can get to XYZ faster. It's just backwards, really, if you think about it. It doesn't make any sense, and it's tearing the idea of black families apart. And there are lots of the black celebrities that we are watching out there that they are further perpetuating the stereotype, and they're gonna tell you, well, I'm not a role model, but yet and still you want us to watch your movies, you want us to buy your clothes, you want us to buy your makeup, okay? Y'all put that out, y'all. But you know, some of them will say, well, I'm not a role model, but yeah, you kind of are, if you think about what's going on in our communities. But a lot of times, a lot of celebrities don't even think about what their actions, that they're, because they see it as, that's my personal life, it's not my professional life. So the lines are often blurred when you've given us access to your personal life since you came out, because you want to seem relatable. So it's a double-edged sword. So bottom line, sapphires, both sides need to take accountability for, guys, you need to discipline yourself sexually. That's it. Ladies, a lot of times we're using sex as a means to get a relationship or as a means to have a child. in order to get money. It's sad that we do that, but we got to recognize children don't ask to come here. And my mom used to tell me this long time ago. You can't put somebody in your life for your own. You can't bring a human being into this world for your own personal, what you're trying to do for yourself, because that's not fair. That person didn't ask to come here. And once they come here, it should be all about them. You know, yeah, mom and dad need a little break, but it shouldn't be about that. So ladies, don't be sapphires, and fellas, don't be bucks. It's not cool. Both sides need to take accountability. Guys, discipline yourselves, and women, the marriage thing, it's not gonna be for everybody. Relationships are not guaranteed for everybody. I always say, and I've been saying this all over TikTok when I see a video and everybody's commenting, have yourself first. If you have yourself first, your self-esteem is high, and you can't be watching the TV talking about something, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. The Real Housewives, stop watching it, because a lot of those women, if y'all watch that and you really watch it, those women aren't living the life that you would think is ideal in terms of being a housewife. A lot of those women aren't housewives. They're doing stuff. They're going through things. Bottom line, have yourself. Figure out what kind of life that you want for yourself. Balance your life for yourself. Figure out what you want. Mentally get yourself together if you need a therapist, if you need someone to talk things through with, because there are a lot of stuff that we learn when we're kids, a lot of stuff that we're told we should want and taught that we should want when we're kids. We have to unlearn a lot of that stuff because times are changing. Everything is not the same. If you want to be married, that's cool, but prepare yourself for marriage. It's not all fun and games. It's actual teamwork and a partnership with that person. It's not about, I'm just coming here, he's gonna get my hair done, he's gonna get my nails done, and that's it. Now there are some guys out there who don't want you to do nothing, they just want you to stand there and look pretty, but for me, I need you to respect my mind. When you respect my intelligence, I want to do everything for you when it comes to guys. Oh my God, when you respect my intelligence, you ask for my opinion on certain things, that something that might affect you only or that could affect us as a couple. We are a team, and that is how it should be. But everybody out here is not wanting to be a part of the team. They don't want to be a team. People sometimes get into marriage and relationships for me. This is for me. This is what I want. What about what the other person wants or what the other person needs, what the other person had to do without? Have conversation, communicate, be consistent with each other. Have some conversations that are not, I had to question after my fiance passed. I had to question for myself, why were you said you wanted to be married. Why did you want to be married to that person? What did he bring to your life? What was it about him that said, I will spend the rest of my life with this man? I had to question that about myself. So ladies out there, girl, sometimes you might be better alone because marriage is not all fun and games. It's not all glitz and glamour. I am old school in the domestication department. I like cooking. Y'all know I like cooking because y'all seen it on my thing. I like making sure my house is clean, making sure my place is well decorated, having things just so. But I thought about that, inviting a man into my life. Men and women are totally different. Had to talk to my mom about that one. Men and women are different in how we keep things. I'm very just so dainty, but men are not dainty. They're not supposed to be. And that was something that I had to learn to deal with when my ex and I were together before he passed. There is a lot going on, and we really, ladies, it comes down to us analyzing what we want. What we want. We are not children. We have opportunities. Just because I haven't had a kid does not make me any less than a woman. Just because I don't have a man does not make me any less than a woman. You have to think about all of these things. We have opportunities. We have a chance to do something. And if you meet a guy and it's right and it works, he's giving you what you need, you're giving him what he needs, there's a back and forth, there's a team partnership thing, then hey, it might be right. But remember, marriage is supposed to be for the rest of your life. And can you compromise with this person for the rest of your life? Can you communicate with this person for the rest of your life? You're going to change. Can you deal with the changes between each other for the rest of your life? So bottom line, don't be trying to hook these dudes into relationships, you know, using your sapphire-ness or using the fact that you have a kid. I don't even care what these guys do out here. I care about what the ladies got going on and how we carry ourselves and what we are putting out there into the world. We're not children. We're good. We're good. So that is my chat, a little mental health, some shows that I'm watching, guys. And like I said, if you know you're having some issues about things that you don't get a therapist. Get somebody that can help you. There is affordable therapy out there. I'm here in Georgia. There's Life Stance Health Group. There's BetterHelp that's online. Guys, if you need help, get it. I want all the ladies out there, including the guys, but I'm talking to the ladies because this is a lady-led channel. Ladies, I want you to be happy and I want you to have a balanced life in style. So yeah, that is my chat, my long chat and rant for today. Hope you got something out of it. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, I hope that you will subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that YouTube can let you know every time I post a new video. Guys, I want you to make sure you check down in the description box. Check out what I have got going on with all my affiliates. You can check me out at L Love and Life. You can check out all my affiliates that I work with, and there's a discount down below for you in the description box. Also, guys, the Lotus Doll Shop Boutique on Poshmark at L.A.L. Make sure you go over there and check it out. I've got some stuff that is perfect for spring, to get you ready for spring and summer right now. Also, some stuff that'll help you transition into spring and summer. And I got the new pieces, guys. You will be seeing them shortly, so I would appreciate it if you guys go over there and check that out. Please share my videos with family and friends who enjoy beauty and lifestyle video, including videos like this where we chat about real life stuff, because this channel is part of that too. It's not just all makeup, hair, fashion, and decor and food. It's about that too. So please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about anything that I've said here today. I like to talk back and forth with people because somebody may be going through the same thing that you're going through, and they may be able to tell you how they're making it through. So whether it's dealing with grief, something I'm dealing with or transitioning in. I'm in stages, guys. Dealing with just mental health, anxiety, those kinds of things, and how you're dealing with it out there. I would appreciate it, guys. So I hope you had a most enjoyable, informative time. Bye.